The Statue of Liberty beckoning brightly, a landmark feature here in New York City. Hello and welcome everyone to another exciting edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. This is Kevin Harlan. A quick check now at the starting lineups for both teams. First for Chicago, D. Rose and Jimmy Butler, the backcourt. And down low, the two-time NCAA champion in Florida. The 6'11 tornado of energy and effort. It's the big man, Joakim Noah. Then it's Dang, and it's Boozer in at the power forward position. And looking at the Nets, Deron Williams and Joe Johnson at the 1 and 2. And inside out of Stanford University, a skilled post scorer with tremendous size, the 7-footer, Brook Lopez. Then it's Pierce, and it's Garnett in at the 4 spot.
Now, this is the second season for the Nets here in Brooklyn. It's amazing how quickly they've made themselves a part of this community. They've tried to capture some of that history from sports in the past. In fact, they have the flagpole from the old Ebbets Field right outside the Barclays Center. Kind of a cool historical connection.
And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. And for the Nets, you notice that unlike most teams with their jerseys, whether they're on the road or at home, it's Brooklyn across their chest.
I think that represents them representing the borough, Kevin, and looking to establish a new identity. And even if you aren't a big Nets fan, for Brooklynites, it's easy to throw on a black and white sweater or jersey with Brooklyn across the front of it.
And Lou Deng gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Here's Williams. It's Pierce on the wing. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up. And here are the Bulls now. I'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with Tom Thibodeau. Doris?
He talked about how much respect he has for Kevin Garnett, saying he's just the ultimate competitor. He's unselfish, plays for his teammates, and we've got to really have our motor revving and play with a lot of intensity. We cannot let him outwork us. Kevin looked for a real physical game.
Thanks again, Doris.
A little touch of class there, guys. The end of that play with the finger roll. You look at the Joe Johnson trade for the Nets. They picked up his max contract from the Hawks, committing $80 million over 4 years. But, you know, last season, his lowest point output in over a decade, a down season overall. But, hey, there's a lot of talent on this team. He's not expected to score as much anymore.
Here's his shot is good.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Outside Rose. Back to Boozer. Takes the 13-footer. Here's Noah, and he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Pure hustle on that play, and that's what it takes on the offensive boards. It's not about ability as much as it is desire.
And that Clark in some muscle, and he showed us he's got plenty of that with the huge dunk.
Well, in a tight game, I mean, they could use a few more of those hustle plays going forward if they're going to win.
And for the Nets, they started the season doing some of that isolation offensively for Joe Johnson that we saw in Atlanta, Clark.
And even with the most efficient individual scorers, that's not usually the way to go offensively over the long haul. With Joe going through a bit of a lull in terms of his shooting percentages, I thought they might have been better served to anchor the offense around Brook Lopez inside.
Here's Terry. Deron Williams picking up that last basket. Evans, a screen on Gibson. Watch, dishes to Williams. Back to Blotch. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn.
And no question, he got bumped on that shot.
Definitely no room for discussion on that one.
The Nets shooting their first free throws of the game.
Now, the numbers last year for them at the line, not great. Just 73% free throw shooting as a team.
And, you know, there was plenty of blame to go around for that. I mean, it wasn't just 1 or 2 guys. I mean, for the most part, the entire team struggled.
And out of bounds as the Nets gain possession.
Way too loose on that inbounds pass.
Terry kicks to Kirilenko. Left side Williams. Left side Williams. The 15-footer. Good. Williams has got 6. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Net. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Nets.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And the other thing they're doing is forcing a lot of turnovers, and that's helping them to get easy points at the other end.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
I would think it's safe to say that Andre Block grew up as an NBA player last season. His maturity was obvious. He was an impact big when he got minutes, and getting amnestied by Washington might have been the wake-up call that his career needed.
Now here's Heinrich. Here's Dang. And it's off from 3-point range. Nets leading by 8. Outside Williams. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. And to go back, Clark, to Andre Bloch, what a turnaround after being cut loose by the Wizards last season. Arguably the best of his career with Brooklyn.
Well, we knew he had talent all along. I thought a big part of it was motivation and a culture of accountability. Some players are self-starters. Other guys need coaches and teammates to push them. But I thought Bloch probably had his best season yet last year.
And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, gentlemen, a quick turnaround for Jason Kidd from a player to head coach. Many felt he could still be playing if he wanted, but he said, quote, "My biggest fear had always been getting hurt and not being able to leave the game on my own terms." It worked out well for him, and guys, just like his playing days, always thinking a few steps ahead.
You bet. Thank you, Doris.
Guys, how about the Bulls being able to nab the 5th seed in the East last season, in large part due to how they were able to play on the road? Of course, when you play tough, solid defense like they do, it makes it easier to be competitive and string together road wins.
Dunleavy the best today. 1:07 left in the first half. Nets leading by 8. Kirilenko dishes to Bloch, and he goes in for the dunk.
That's about time somebody scored. This is ugly.
Yeah, grit and grind ugly. That's how I would describe it. Every bucket counts double in a game like this one, or at least it should count double.
And for the Bulls, defense is one of the few things in the NBA that can neutralize a home court advantage. And Steve, a big part of why they had the success they had on the road.
Yeah, they went 21-20 away from the United Center, and one of only 5 teams in the entire East who managed to stay above 500 away from home. That's a real tribute to this team and the coaching staff.
That's good. 9 points for Deron Williams.
Incredible. Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3-ball with one of their own.
Let's keep this thing going, guys. I love seeing a 3-point battle like this.
Dang with the bucket.
Well, I'm not necessarily a big fan of him shooting that shot, but they did give him the space.
Terry against Butler. Shot by Terry, no good. Now Butler. The pass to Dang. The feed to Dunleavy. Dang kicks to Heinrich. No good from outside. Here's Terry. Cannot hit. And so that's the end of the first half. It's the Nets leading by 7.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And a fun game going out in the borough of Brooklyn.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments.
You know, in one of the more compelling postseason stories, the question about when the Bulls would bring Derrick Rose back just continued to hover around the playoffs. Ultimately, just never happened.
And here's Johnson outside. The basket is good off the assist from Williams. Williams has got 4 assists in the game. Rose attacking. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Well, back to the Bulls, and even without Rose, I think the team made a big statement, Steve, with how they played in the postseason. They showed that they weren't just a one-man show with Rose running things and have a solid core and system that will always compete.
Well, it's the second straight year that the Bulls have essentially been without Rose in their playoff run due to injury. And so I think Chicago fans are kind of wondering what exactly the roof is for this team, the ceiling, if you will. Let's hope that Rose stays healthy this year, so we'll find out.
Here is Rose. Shot is off. Williams with the defensive effort. Brooklyn leading by 8. Johnson outside. From downtown. Rebound by Butler. Butler's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
Jimmy Butler was the last pick of the first round back in 2011 by the Bulls. And last season, I tell you what, he really solidified his place in the rotation, guy. He's still developing his outside shot, but he brings an awful lot to light to the table.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, gentlemen, there has been a lot of pressure on this Bulls team to get to the finals. Derrick Rose thinks that they are set up to win multiple championships. He says, quote, "To me, to win a championship, you need a team full of winners that's willing to sacrifice. We got all the pieces, starting with the front office, our owners, the coaching staff, down to the players. That kind of quote puts more pressure on the team, but they are set to make a deep run, guys."
Defense really their identity. That's how they win. And for Jimmy Butler, what a story. Abandoned as a child, bounced around from home to home. One coach would take him in, another family would take him in. It was a very tough upbringing down in the Houston area. He overcame tremendous odds. And to be where he is today with the great attitude after a short time at Marquette, it speaks volumes of his character.
Well, it sure shows in his play, doesn't it? I mean, just the way he hustles and draws fouls, rebounds, defends. He can guard multiple positions out there. You just love his overall game and his toughness and what he brings to this team.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
You know, last season for the Nets, high expectations, guys. They were the runaway pick to be the most improved team in the league, and ownership stressed that their goal was nothing less than a championship. They had a bumpy stretch at one point, steadied themselves, but still a 3rd head coach now in the span of a year.
Lopez passes to Pierce, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
Here's Chicago. 9 points in a row. Good run for him right now. Rose dishes to Dang. Offline from the top of the key.
What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with it.
Williams kicks to Pierce. Pierce gets the screen from Lopez. Pierce attacking Williams from outside the arc. That's good. Williams has got 12.
Beautiful feed off the bounce to his teammate there. Nicely done.
Who's off target with that shot. And we've reached the end of the 3rd. Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The 4th quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Nets.
These long-range shots look like layups out there, guys.
You know, something else I've noticed is just how many of their baskets have been set up by assists throughout the game.
And there's Joe Johnson on the assist by Williams. 7 points for Joe Johnson.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, if you just looked at assist as the measuring stick, they've been by far the better team.
And it's blocked by Johnson. Here's the pass to Williams. Johnson outside. Johnson draws the double. Deflected. Pass to Pierce. 6 to shoot. From outside, off the mark.
Nobody near him. He'll normally make that one.
And it's Rose penetrating. Over Lopez. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That's on Darren Williams.
You know, nobody responds to end-of-game pressure like this guy. That's what comes to mind immediately for me. He's hit some monumental shots in his career. And some guys just embrace the moment at the end of the game. That's him.
And here's another thing about him, Steve. Every time he gets his hands on the ball in the backcourt, he's a one-man fast break.
And the Nets making a change here. Watch just checked in. Butler dishes to Dang. Back to Butler. Lets it go from deep. No good. And Brooklyn will come the other way. They've led by as much as 10. And there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That is his first foul of the game. Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for Derrick Rose.
Two shots.
Gets the first, and that increases their lead to 6. convert on the second. That misses. On the wing, Dang. Launches a three. The Bulls keep it alive. And the shot is good.
Perseverance paying off on the offensive boards, guys.
Nets leading by 4. And here is Williams. Back to Blotch. The basket is good off the assist from Williams. 1:06 left in the fourth quarter. Butler kicks to Dang. Bulls moving the ball around from 12 feet out. It's in! And now they trail by just 4.
He made that one tougher than it had to be. Didn't really need to lean in.
Williams against Heinrich. Outside Pierce. With the shot. And good! He nails it. And the Nets lead by 6. For Chicago, they've gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. Dang. Again, the miss by Dang. The Nets have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Shots good by Blotch.
Well, that just adds to what's probably an already insurmountable lead. I think they'll be walking out of here with a pretty easy victory.
Steve, I think that's a given.
Outside Butler. He dishes it to Noah.
Look at that athletic play. Incredible.
Wow. That's not as easy as he made it look, guys. You've got to have some skills to pull that baby off.
Well, he's got plenty of those skills necessary, partner.
Oh, you know it. The guy can climb the ladder, can't he?
And the Bulls making a change here. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's an 8-point game. Chicago calls timeout. They're behind by 8. 19 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, never say never, I guess. They just have no quit in them.
I think you have to respect that attitude and approach. I know most teams would have called it a game already.
Dunleavy for 3. Drains it from downtown. 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And so they foul intentionally. He drops the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. And so both free throws are good. And it's a 7-point game. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. They're down by 7. 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
Well, they can game plan all they want, but there's not enough time left for them to come back and win this game.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly what they think they're going to pull off here.
And so it's Brooklyn who's